Hi book lovers, it's Jenny at Julia Baby Jen, and these are my favorite MG books of 2016. Okay, I didn't read a ton of MG books this year, but I did read some really good ones, and I'm going to share those with you now. I read The School for Good and Evil, A World Without Princess. This is a second book in this trilogy, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. This is a world where they have this small fictional town in a wood, and every few years 2 students are kidnapped and taken to this secret school, and the rest of the people who are there are all from fairy tales, and they're trained how to be either good or evil, so either a prince or princess or a knight or that kind of thing, or they're trained how to be an evil witch or hag and the evil bad guy in the stories, and the stories continue to live on through these kids. And so in this one, what happens at the end of the first book has basically sent Sophie and Agatha, who are following, who are best friends, they have gone back to their village. Sophie is really not happy. Agatha is thrilled. They learned a lot about their friendship about each other in the first book, but then they end up going back to the school. Basically, somehow the school kind of reels them back in. Sophie's kidnapped, and to escape this town where everybody is after her head, they end up back at the school. But now the school is completely changed, and the School for Good is now all girls. So the good and the evil girls are all there, and the School for Bad is all the boys, and they've gotten rid of all good princess. So basically all the girls are supposed to be good and all the boys are supposed to be bad, and so this is the continuation of the story from there. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoy this series. It's a great moral tale on how evil and good is not so black and white, and also about friendship, and I really enjoyed the turns this one took. In this one, the first one, Sophie's really annoyed me. In this one, it turned around to more Agatha was really annoying me. So it was really interesting, and I love this book. The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. I finally read this year, and I loved it. This is fun fantasy. It's kind of a prequel to The Lord of the Rings, which I haven't read yet. But this follows our Hobbit, and he is so much fun. I did watch the first Hobbit movie, and it was really good. I need to watch the other 2. But yeah, I really enjoyed this really fun fantasy. Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie. I read this for a short books challenge. I've had this little book for a little while. I got it from Book Outlet. It's the Chalkboard Puffin Books collection. Love these books. They're so cute. But I never really read Peter Pan before, and so I read it, and I loved it. It was so much fun. I know a lot about the story, obviously, from the movies and everything, but the book itself is a lot of fun. J.M. Barrie was a great writer. He came up with something magical with this book, and I just adored it. And then I read, also for the short book challenge, The Secret of the Old Clock by Carolyn Keene. This is the very first Nancy Drew book ever. And this is kind of a collector's edition that I got. I think it was from Borders. I think. Pretty sure. Anyway, so I found it at a thrift store. So I read the Nancy Drew like crazy when I was a kid, but I read like the newer Nancy Drew series, so I never read the old classics, and I kind of been collecting them. And so I finally decided to start reading them. So I read The Secret of the Old Clock. It was a really fun story. If you like Nancy Drew, it's so much fun. It's basically just a really good mystery. Nancy Drew's pretty awesome. And what I really loved about this was this is written back like in the 30s, and she is so modern. It was really a book ahead of its time as far as a girl getting out there and being able to take care of herself, being able to change her tire on her car and all that. And I really loved she's so resourceful and independent. And it's just a really good role model even for today. So I didn't really realize that. I think when I ever read the books when I was younger, but I grew up in the 80s where women could do everything. That was the whole mantra. And in the 30s, that wasn't always the mantra. So this was a really fun read as far as that went. And then finally, I finished the Heroes of Olympus series. So I read the 3rd book, The Mark of Athena. This one was really good. This was mostly a story about Annabeth, and I really liked it. In this one, basically the prophecy of 7, the 7 main characters team up to save Nico, and it's a really great story. It's mostly about Annabeth's story, and I really liked it. And then we have the House of Hades, where Percy and Annabeth are in Tartarus for most of the book, and the other ones are trying to open the doors to Tartarus to get rid of these monsters that are taking over. That's part of the prophecy they need to do. And this one was really good. I think it's my favorite in the Heroes of Olympus series. I really liked this one. And then finally, The Blood of Olympus is the conclusion to the whole thing. So it's a really great story. I love how every single hero in this really had a role to play, and I love how everything tied together. Rick Riordan is so great at that, just writing it all so it ties together and everything makes sense, and I really like how he writes his books. So this was a really great conclusion to the series. And those are my favorite MG books I read in 2016. Leave me any comments below if you read any good MG books. I love to get suggestions. I hope everyone has a good day. I will talk to you later.